Chapter 872, Soft and Fluffy.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Podcast. I'm Best Man McMee, and he's Hippo McGee.
I have a sword now.
That's cool. Hey, guess
Character
what, everybody?
development.
That is character development. Guess what, everybody? Today is officially. I know we mentioned this. I think at the beginning of the year it was, I believe. But
Yeah.
this week, this is the official 20-year anniversary. This chapter.
Yeah, this
of
is
the
big
beginning
news.
of One Piece. This is big news. Grah! This is the big news. This is the big news. And I thought it might be fun because Oda included a special message here in the beginning of the chapter. I thought I might just read it out. It was super sweet. So just so everybody, so we can reflect on the man who's brought us all this joy over the years. Here's what he had to say. 20 years. Let's see. How old are you? 20 years ago, were you alive? Back then, Luffy was 17 years old, and now, 20 years later, he's 19. Wait a second. Did you know that Luffy received his straw hat from a certain person? Oh, come on, Oda. What are you, fucking babying us right now? Okay, he didn't write that. That's me. In the very beginning, Luffy set out to sea all alone. He didn't have any friends. Aw. One Piece has a lot of flashback scenes. Well, he did, but he started his journey alone. He had nobody with him, at least.
Oh, yeah.
One Piece has a lot of flashback scenes, but they are there for one reason. They started when I thought that by acquainting you all with even the childhoods of these characters, you'd feel like you had been with them since they were children. Things like, oh, Luffy's been terrible at telling lies since he was a kid, or he used to be such a crybaby, or he's grown up so much, or he hasn't changed at all, and Zoro's and Nami's. Because you've done me the favor of watching over them as they've grown, I feel like a deep bond has developed between you all and Luffy and his friends. Their story will certainly come to an end one day, but I would like nothing more than for you to continue to adventure with them till that end comes. Thank you for supporting me for these past 20 years. Bear with me for just a little longer. Aichiro Oda.
Pretty nice.
What a sweetheart. What a sweetheart. Just a little longer, guys. Just a little bit longer.
Just a few short decades, and we'll be done.
Yeah,
I was actually thinking when he says, like, were you alive 20 years ago? Well, I was 4 years old 20 years ago, and that's not when I started reading One Piece. And I tried to remember when it was, and I think I watched the anime first, and I can't remember where I got caught up, like when it stopped being new episodes or started being like I had to wait. I think it was near the middle to the end of Thriller Bark, but I can't be sure.
Oh, really?
I'll have to look that up, but that's I think when I started watching around that time.
I think it was around that time that I also got cut up. I think it was towards the end of Eni's Lobby when I finally reached like the end of where the anime was. It took me a while, I remember, initially to switch over to the manga. This was like the first time that I ever, was switching from an anime to a manga, and I didn't even know it existed in the first place. And eventually I fucking stumbled upon it. Well, first I was watching 4Kids. That got canned, and it was only after that I think wasn't coming out anymore. I was like, fuck, man, what am I gonna do? Oh shit, there's all this other One Piece that just isn't released yet. Once I cracked that code, that was probably around 2002 or 3 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing this image of like the Straw Hat Pirates, and there was this guy that I didn't know who he was. It was Frankie.
Yeah.
And it was this image, and I was like, who the fuck is that? And then I realized manga was real. The funny thing was, though, I think I had like Volume 1 of One Piece way before, and I read it and I really liked it, and that's why I started watching the anime when I found out that it was an anime.
Yep.
And I don't know where we got that from. I think it was just like bought at some fair at somewhere. Like somebody sent it. It was like an old lady with a booth full of books, and this one looked cool, and we got it. That was cool.
Every once in a while, I would end up with like a random volume of manga. Like Ben bought me Volume 1, I think, for my birthday of Hunter x Hunter, like way long ago, right when Hunter x Hunter was first starting. And it I read it and liked it, but never read more of that until like many years later. And just happens to work out that way sometimes. Well, I guess let's dive into it. It's time to continue our journey. By the way, this is chapter 872, Soft and Fluffy. Soft and Fluffy. All right, let's get into it. What happens first?
Well, first, before the chapter starts, there's a real cool. It's like all the Straw Hat Pirates in the yes, the Mugiwara 56. I don't know why it's not 66.
But I can explain that. Yeah, this is I thought they looked like the Garima, but I was like, I don't fucking get it. But the Garima 56 makes perfect sense. Okay, it's all because a lot of the Oda loves puns, and one of the things Oda likes to do is he'll assign a certain number combination to a character that corresponds to their name in some way. So, for example, Go is the Japanese pronunciation of the word 5, and what is it? I forget how. Roku is 6, but you can also pronounce it Mu. So if you say 56, you can say Go Mu, which means Gomu no Mi. So that's the connection to Luffy. And there's there's like a lot of characters that have similar sorts of things, and Oda likes to do that. I remember I actually bought a shirt when I was in Japan, like a Whitebeard one, and it was I believe it was 4-6 if I remember correctly, because 4 means she. And Ro, as in Roku, is 6, and so Shiro for the Shirohige pirates, the Whitebeard pirates, and yeah. So there you go. There's your full history lesson, folks.
Yeah.
Well, not Lister, but Japanese.
Japanese legend. All these I fucking love that tiger with the hover paw print things.
Yeah, it's sick. And he's got a one wheel in the back. That's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. So
yeah,
anyway,
I didn't.
that's
I'm glad you corrected me.
Instant desktop background wallpaper right there. I always save those good ones.
That's totally good. And also, I like how we haven't seen for a while, but like it's on record that every member of the Straw Hat crew has like a color that's associated with them, and so everyone here is represented. And people never believe me when I tell them that like Frankie is light blue and Sanji is like a dark blue. Everyone's like, no, Sanji's yellow. What are you talking about? No. Usopp is yellow, everybody. Sanji is dark blue. Frankie is light blue, and everyone else is their color.
Just so people, like, is there a reason Usopp was yellow from the beginning? Was there, like, a thing?
Because he's a coward? I don't know. That's just the color Oda chose to associate with him. I don't know the specific reason. Maybe it could just be design sense and nothing else. But that's it. That's the thing.
All right, let's get into the thing. So we start off with an explanation, if you forgot, which we hadn't, about the Tamatubako having the bomb inside it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was handy to just see the panels they used. Yeah, the one thing I was wondering whether like the Straw Hats knew or were told at all that there was a bomb in there.
Mm-hmm,
but I guess they just sort of like, we'll just say hush hush about it. We don't need to tell them that there's a bomb in that you gave to Big Mom. I don't know why they didn't tell them, but I guess that's what happened.
Yeah, they really should have. Kind of irresponsible not to. And, you know, this was a nice clarification, and I guess I really can't criticize it too much, because it is, in fact, giving me information that I had legitimately forgotten, but I'm still annoyed. You know, while I was reading this one page, I was like, oh, here we go with, like, the babying the fucking people who forgot everything, even though I myself literally forgot some of this information, so it was actually helpful. I'm still annoyed, though, that we ever baby people who forget anything. But it was only for one page, and as soon as I get to like the end of this first page, and they're like, "Okay, we're back to the future," I'm like, "Okay, it's one fucking page. Let's not freak out about this." Yeah, it was not a big deal.
He's never been bad with that. It's just this is a huge thing that is, you know.
This was like very important. So yeah.
Yeah. So the whole cake of it is falling down,
which is like the size of a literal city. It's huge, gigantic. This is the most powerful bomb. I don't know. Maybe this is equivalent to like the thing that. Remember the thing that blew up Pell? Seems like on that fucking level, you know?
Probably a bit more than that.
Maybe. I
don't know.
Pell was fine, so yeah.
I don't know about like the size difference, because you know it's so big that you can't even really compare it to any actual normal sized building, because everything around it is also a giant cake.
Well, it's actually made of. As we saw, it's actually made of stone, and I think like covered in cake and shit. So it's kind of a design thing. Yeah.
There's a bit. Well, we'll talk about that later. But
yes, we will.
everybody's you know, just like, oh shit, what's going on? And we get the chicken man. What's his face? What's his name?
Tamago, Baron Tamago.
Tamago.
Or when he evolved into Rooster
Count
Boy.
Chicken or
something. Whatever that was.
And I really like that his like a little chin chin wobbly thing is sort of like tilting as he's realizing that, oh my god, we're falling over.
That I can imagine that in the anime as being very funny. Oda's really good at that kind of shit. He's a good boy.
Yeah, so all these lowbie losers are just, gonna think they're gonna die, and
yeah, I mean,
who cares?
you gotta put yourself in the position here, like an entire gigantic castle that's like a large, like 25% of like everyone in the fucking kingdom or on the island is probably in this cake fortress. It's huge, and it's going to crush this city. This is big
probably
news.
Like I feel like it's probably like the size of Drum Island, like one of those big things in the middle.
Even bigger, I think. But yeah, that's a good comparison.
And so everybody's fucking around the Stussy is like, oh, that was a bomb, but why?
Yeah,
and,
fair question.
And everybody's like, they saved us all.
Oh yeah, but the Straw Hats got away. They used this. We didn't really see it, but they used that moment to escape real quick.
They used that moment to zoom around. Either the judge is being carried by his sons.
Yep.
And he's probably going to be fine. And that shot of like the wedding falling, that has a real sense of like, oh shit to it that I really like. Like sometimes when things fall down, it's just sort of like you can't get a sense of how epic the fall is, but this, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the intricate detail of all the small things that were on the thing, and the angle at which they're falling.
And you can kind of see silhouettes of like tiny little people in the center, just like all tilting sideways. He did a really good job of making this panel look like big news. That's my favorite thing. I love Morgan so much.
Yeah. People inside Bege they're looking out and seeing it. I just want to skip to the bit where he says big news, but there's a few things that happens.
We'll get there.
So Caesar, since he's carrying a Bege, he's fine. He's just flying around, and he's watching Big Mom fall, and it's like, oh well, she's not gonna die. Like even if she landed on the ground, she was gonna be fine.
You know what's funny? I mean, Bege here is saying Bege is off the fucking wall. He's like, okay, we've got Caesar. He's carrying us. We'll be fine. But the entire Big Mom crew is about to fall 1,000,000 miles, and he's saying like they're done. I mean, because this is One Piece, which is a little more cartoony with the physics. Like I was a little bit skeptical. Like, are they really all gonna die from this fall? Like that just seems like ridiculous on its face in One Piece. But like it's like he's treating it like a real life thing where you fall off a cliff, you're dead. Like that's there's no bones about it.
Yeah, I think it's a bit different when it's like you're gonna fall like 100,000. I don't know how tall it would be, but like really
huge,
a lot longer than, and then also the castle falling on you afterwards.
True. I don't know. These people, it's just because like One Piece people are all like super people, superhumans, and like, it's just like something like a fall killing someone is extremely anticlimactic and like surprising in a series like One Piece. So like I actually would have liked it if that had happened, I think, but as we'll see soon, things change. But like, I was wondering, like, is Big Mom really gonna die from this fall? Seems unlikely to me. But like, I think he was just making the point, like, if everybody else dies except Big Mom, that's still, that's pretty good at wrecking her crew.
I think what he was implying here is that if Big Mom, she can't fly, he feels like this will be enough to kill her, and with her dead, the crew is finished. So it doesn't matter if all of them die. Just so much that Big Mom does. Like it looks like it feels like this is a success. Like, oh, I didn't even need to kill you. You're gonna die.
That's just weird though, because like we've established that Big Mom is like generally basically invulnerable, except when specifically weakened by something like the poison, which was the whole point. Like we know. Are you telling me that Luffy can't punch as hard as like this fall from the height of this? I don't believe that. I don't believe this would deal more damage, and we know she could survive that because she's one of the strongest people in the world. So to say that Big Mom would like definitely die from this fall, to me is just very hard to swallow.
Well, it could just be him also feeling like, oh, phew, I'm not gonna die, and in fact, I'm able to fly right now, and you're all falling, haha. It's just sort of like,
you're right.
I got away with it.
And I don't mind it. In fact, I quite like this development. And I think, frankly, in most series, I would be totally on board with this. But I think because this is One Piece with the particular type of, like, superhuman people who, you know, rarely die as a consequence of sort of things like this, I wasn't able to fully, you know, treat this as the threat that it really was. Like, if we were applying real physics to a situation like this. So, yeah, you know, I don't blame Oda. In fact, I think he did the literal best he possibly could in this situation. I just think that for, you know, the reasons I've stated, it's a little bit hard for me to take a situation like this as seriously as the characters were in that moment. But, you know, it's a nitpick. Big nitpick.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
So... still falling. People down on the ground, they're just like giving up because there's no way they can run away from something that big.
I really like that moment of Butter Girl there. You know, like Sister Butter.
Yeah, the Butter Girl is like,
brother, and he's like, calm the fuck down, bitch. Katakuri or Dogtooth. Man, what a badass. That guy is so cool. I like him.
So calm, collected.
He really
but then,
is, man.
Forget that guy. Turn the page. It's Big News Bird right now. I really love the way he's holding the tiny little camera at the very
as he falls
tips
to his death.
With the very tips of his wing fingers, just like click click click.
And and like Streusen's like, dude, don't you care about you're literally about to die? He's like, fuck, I can't fly. Whatever, it's big news. This is important. He's
and
so
she
pure.
Can fly.
He's so pure. He's like, you know how like. In normal One Piece society, being a pirate, you know, at least originally, like, at the beginning, most, like, average people are, like, think of pirates as, you know, bad guys or at least dangerous people. Like, so Luffy had to become a pirate just to get the freedom he wanted in society. This man just wants to tell the news. And you know what? If he had to consort with these criminals, you know, he's so dedicated to getting the big news, he'll do it. He is a pure soul, right? He is a pure boy. He doesn't give a fuck.
He's the purest evil underground
He's not
baron.
evil. He's good. He's pure. He's lawful good. I love him so much. He's neutral good, actually. He's neutral good. I love him. He is my favorite character in One Piece. Everyone else is bad. He's falling to his death and taking pictures of the big news. I love him so much.
It's also funny that he's a bird and he cannot fly.
That is, again, very, very interesting. Yeah, why can't he fly? Is he too fat? He is pretty fat.
He's probably too big.
He's,
you know,
the news is too big. The weight of the big news weighs down on his mind too much for him to stay aloft. Yeah,
he's had like a healthy diet of big news for too long, and he's become too big to fly.
Exactly. But Stussy is fine. She can use that air step or whatever it's called. She's a-okay.
Yeah.
She's very cute.
And then old man first member of the crew, forget his name.
Guy.
He gets his sword out and he does his special attack that turns stuff into food. And he turns Whole Cake Castle, whatever it's called, Whole Cake Chateau, into a whole cake.
Yep.
And
then,
even
whipped
though
cream and sponge cake specifically, only the lightest of cakes as well.
Yeah, but even still, I feel like a cake that size would kill everyone anyway. Like, it would smother them to death. But apparently it just sort of like, it gets stuck on some of the town spires and doesn't even smash them.
Yeah, it was light enough for the town itself to prop it up, so it didn't crush everybody. So I think if it had landed, it probably would have suffocated people. But as you said, it's so light and fluffy that it just didn't do it. But like, Jesus Christ, this dude is fucking powerful. That's like, that's big news. He's so. First of all, he sliced the entire cake in half, and then turned it into a fucking cake. Really strong guy.
Yeah.
Very, very
powerful. Old characters are always like, it seems in the One Piece world, the older you live, you don't get like, you know, arthritis or you know, you don't go geriatric. You just get stronger with age. So the strongest ones are always the ones that can do all the huge big things, and this is what he's got the power to do. It's really cool.
I don't know. I was just really impressed by that. I mean, obviously, but this is a moment that we might get of like the most powerful characters. Like when Zoro cut Pika in half, like the giant man who was the size of a fucking city, or when Mihawk cut that glacier in half. It was a moment on par with those. And this old fucking dude, this just chef dude, this like up until recently unknown member of the Big Mom Pirates, who's actually like one of the founding members This is really impressive and really cool. And I don't know, man. It was just, I love when Oda can make a character like this, like, so intimidating and impressive. And, like, this is that thing, man. Creative usage of power. He literally saved the town by turning a giant piece of stone into sponge cake and whipped cream. That's just really cool, you know? That's hilarious and awesome. Really good. Very, very good.
On the next page, I want to say, before you say it, Lady Amande with the goop all over her hat.
Yeah.
She's got the whipped cream. It's pretty funny.
Adorable. Adorable. I love her. I love all these guys. This arc, this adventure has been so much fun. So much fun here on Whole Cake Island.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Go on.
No, I'm just really happy that you know, Big Mom Pirate Crew, there are enough unique faces that have unique personalities. By the end of this, we have, like, you know, we have Dogtooth, we have this guy with the nose, we have Brûlé, we have
Smoothie. We got Smoothie. She's cool.
We got Lady Amande. We got a lot of people that, you know, all these characters. Some of them are a bit like they just showed up their powers and that was it. But some of them have like characters now. We have like a whole feeling of what the crew is like and what could happen. You know, if they turn up later, it'd be like, whoa, it's them.
It's so great. It's so great to get this much personality. And you know what I really love about this kind of shit? It's that unlike something like, I know we always bring it up, but like unlike Bleach, what Bleach would do with a situation like this is it would introduce like the squad of bad guys. And it would like show off like single panels of all of them in like a really cool pose doing something. Instead of that bullshit, what Oda does is that he like on his own conceives of the crew, works out like the relationships between everybody, comes up with 1,000 designs, and then proceeds to sprinkle them in delicately throughout the arc and flesh them out when it's appropriate. And you know, some characters, even though he thought of a whole backstory for them, might not get fleshed out, but he's not forcing this shit down your throat. It's like the equivalent of like giving you tons of side quests in a video game that you can do if you want to, instead of shoving every idea into like the main story and forcing you to explore all of them. That's what Oda's like. And it's the best way to do it, and I love
that is a good way to put it. It's like you can sense the added richness in there, but you don't have to go digging into the wiki and stuff.
Yep,
you just naturally, you know, you feel it. You feel these characters. You feel them. You don't remember their names sometimes, but you know who they are.
It's this crew has been so wonderfully fleshed out and it's rich and I love it. And remember like Whitebeard's crew? Like we instantly just through the designs and like the actions of like Whitebeard's captains, you know, we instantly were like, yeah, these guys are all fucking badass and I want to see more of them. Like he introduced them all. They did like little things each, but they didn't get like a huge spotlight, which was like tasteful, you know? It was tasteful. And one day maybe we will get them fleshed out. It's the same shit with like the supernovas, right? Like how long have I been saying it? Like the supernovas were introduced 1,000 years ago, probably 10 years ago, literally at this point. And like only now are we fleshing out like Capone Gang Bege's powers. And I've been wondering for like literally 10 years, what's the deal with that guy? And now I'm getting it. And soon we're gonna find out about like more about D.Ace Drake and Jewelry Bonnie and Killer and Kid and all their shit. And it's just it's the best. This is how you reward. Yeah. This is how you properly reward a dedication to a series, man. That's why it's the best. That's why it's held my interest this long and this hard. It's great. It's good shit, man.
You just imagine, like, I mean, this has been like a whole arc, and there's a lot of chapters, but the amount of stuff we've gotten from those chapters, like we've got the Big Mom crew, we've got the backstory of Big Mom, and the backstory of Sanji and the Vinsmokes, and we got the introduction of all the Germa, we got the introduction of the Fire Tank Pirates and what they're all about. We've got so many things in like the amount of chapters it would have taken for like an arc of Bleach, say, to introduce a bunch of new guys, have them fight one-on-one with the good guys, and then never come up again because they're dead, except the good character designs that people like. They come back as good guys, I guess.
Yeah, they do.
And that's, it's just like the amount of stuff that Oda can pack into a chapter. It continues to amaze me, just how well he does it every time.
If you only care about, like, surface-level bullshit that fucking sucks and you should honestly be tired of after, like, the ideas have clearly run dry, Bleach is the series for you, my dude. But if you want, like, a world that is constantly evolving and has characters that are thought out, then One Piece is the place for you. And if you want shitty, fat-titted sluts who do nothing of interest, go read Fairy Tail. Get the fuck out of One Piece if that's what you want.
It's like... It's like,
but
not only is it quality...
But it's dead, bitch! Fairy Tail's fucking dead! Actually, it's got like 2 more chapters. Okay, I'm sorry. Go on.
But it's like, not only do you get quality with One Piece, but you get quantity, like value for money. For every chapter, there's so much more, like, text, but it's not, like, overbearing amounts of text, and it doesn't, like, feel like you're reading too much. It's just exciting.
It's just exciting. It's just rich. It's just rich. Oh, it's great. Oh, and head chef Streusen. Streusen was the guy. He's a cool guy. I'm gonna try to remember that.
Let's get back to talking about what's going on.
On that note, I was gonna say it's interesting that Big Mom says that, like, sweets made with Streusen's transformation powers fill the belly, but they taste terrible. What an odd thing for his, like, food to just taste bad. Anything that he's generated.
I think maybe it's that it tastes not as good as the real deal. So it tastes
artificial flavoring, dude. Yeah, all right.
It's
I just thought that was interesting.
Diet Pepsi.
I feel like that might be relevant later. I don't know. We'll see.
It might be, but
it's just like they really take a moment to point out that she didn't have to say that. She could have been like, "Woo, I'm alive, cool." She specifically mentions this.
I think what it's going to go into is the fact that Streusen cannot sate her with anything.
Oh.
You know, she needs the very specific actual candy, otherwise she'll go insane.
Excellent point. That's an excellent point. Oh, that's perfect. That's just the kind of answer I was hoping for. Yeah, man, I bet that's what it's going to be. Because at the end of this chapter, we'll see some new shit's cooking up. So, all right, let's keep going.
They're thinking of, the Big Mom pirates are thinking of splitting up and finding the crews, and then we get a little bit of a map to see what's going on, where people are. So the sun is on one side of the island. Yeah. So they're in the middle, just where the thing is, and then Bege's hideout is to the west. The Sunny is on the east of the island, and they got split up. So they're being all like, all right, let's goodbye. That's fucking, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And Bege's been like, fuck you. I don't thank me. I don't want to feel like I did something good. Gross. It's just I love that face.
What a pimp.
Like, yeah. He's a cool guy. And then Nami just tells Caesar to go die or something. It's like, fuck you, Caesar. It's so funny. It's so funny every time.
But then Caesar finally gets his fucking heart back right after he finally gets it back at long last. It's almost, let's reflect for a moment. I mean, Nami does too, right? You know, remember how this guy, like, literally was willing to kill children and do experiments on them and, like, didn't give a fuck and killed tons of people who were loyal to him? Like, this guy is not a good guy we should feel sympathy for, but, you know, I can't help but feel a little happy when he's just so retardedly overjoyed to get his heart back. So
I'm really wondering what's gonna happen next, because I watched a video by some guy who's big. He does videos on One Piece stuff.
Don't tell me he thinks Caesar's joining the crew. One of those people.
No. He doesn't think that's gonna happen, but he brought that up in the video I was watching, where he's talking about, like, the fact that Caesar was, like, working to make Smile and to make, like, the artificial devil fruits for
All
Joker.
I wanna make is smile for this Doflamingo guy. Hey, let's see if you get that reference.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah. So he was making that for Doflamingo, and I think Doflamingo was working for Kaido, right?
Yeah, he was selling to Kaido, that's right.
So he was working for Kaido. He was also working at the same time for Big Mom, making giant children.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
true.
like
that's
he
true.
was in two Yonko's pockets. So if Kaido's coming into the next arc with Wano and all that, like, Kaido's being is going to become important very soon. Caesar might turn up again, like, because he's got somewhere to run away to.
For sure.
So then what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
I mean,
is he going to double? Is he going to be able to not? I mean, I know he hates, the Straw Hat crew still. There's no reason for him to be on their side, but at the same time, what's gonna happen? Because he doesn't have the smile factor anymore. That's gone.
He might, he could stick with them, because Kaido, I don't think Kaido really blames, I don't think Kaido really blames Caesar specifically. I think he more blames Doflamingo, because he's the one in charge, and, things got fucked up under his watch. Yeah, I don't know. I think Caesar is literally going to fuck off and just be gone for a while. I don't think he's going to be relevant for quite a while, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know.
Well, he's funny enough that I would like him to turn up.
I'm actually pretty done with Caesar. I think he's run his course, and I'm frankly getting kind of sick of him. I think this is just the perfect time to end it right now.
You know what would be like perfect if Caesar started working with Buggy the Clown.
Oh, I hope he does. That'd be a perfect place for that guy. Show up once every 100 chapters or something. That's perfect.
Yeah. God, I just realized Buggy the Clown is like, he's riding easy street. Like he's a fucking.
He's a Shichibukai now.
He's a big boy. Just because of serendipity, just things worked out for him.
I want an Usopp v Buggy match someday. That'd be just an accidental.
That would be perfect. That would be like
they're
both of them realize
more or less. Yeah.
They're just sort of like, no, we don't want to, and everyone's like, yeah, this is going to be the fight of the century.
Yeah.
They're going to have the biggest war ever, and they're like, no.
They'll luck out of it somehow. They'll become best friends. I don't know.
Imagine how funny it would be if God Usopp and Buggy the Clown become the two new Yonkos after Kaido and Big Mom, and Luffy doesn't. The Straw Hat Pirates, he doesn't get credit. It's God Usopp and Buggy the Clown somehow.
Well,
and they're like, oh shit.
Luffy has no interest in titles and whatnot, so I could see that happening. I could see it happening.
I want that to happen so bad. That would be the funniest thing.
Usopp doesn't seem like the Yonko type, He's also a bit too into freedom.
No, I mean, like, it would be a title thrust upon him by people thinking that Usopp did, like, oh, did you hear God Usopp killed Kaido? And he's like, what? And then Buggy the Clown just shows up and just so happens to get credit for killing Big Mom, and it's like, oh, what? Like, I don't know whether they're gonna die, but like something's gonna happen.
That I could see happening. Though it's just
that would be amazing.
Just to be an asshole nitpicker. It's just like the Yonko specifically have this kind of political influence. So like, could somebody really have that accidentally? Like, how would that work? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe Big Bird will make some big news about it. And then...
I'm sure he would. He's the guy. He's the guy telling all these stories and hyping them up. Okay, so they're splitting up, right? They're going their separate ways now, and that's pretty much where it is. They're just talking about, get to your ship. You've got like, you need to run because this is like a full day before you're out of Big Mom territory. So you better get a fucking move on. You're done, son. And then Bege does the coolest thing he's ever done in his fucking life. He literally plants a sign saying like Straw Hats went that way. I mean, you fucking read the chapter,
like
right, people? It was
it's a
Roadrunner shit.
Like a Looney Tunes sort of like, off I go.
He's so smug about this. He is like, I have figured it out. I have cracked the code of how to get out of this situation. I just throw them under the bus. That was fucking hilarious. I love this.
All I need to do really is just to turn the sign the other way, and then all the big mom pirates are like, they went that way.
You're right. They should literally do that. That'd be fucking hilarious. Oh, that was great. That was really good.
and then he rides off on his little tire tracks that he has.
I love that. The fire tank pirates. He's a tank and he's fireballs. I don't know something.
Because he's a cigar boy.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so I forgot the whole shark submerge was around. So Brook and Chopper have to go find that and bring it back to the Sunny. And then I don't think this is the last page.
Right.
We don't know. So Big Mom Pirates are like, okay, well, we got to split up. We got to find these guys.
And then looking so cool as always.
Yeah, form up 2 squads. Daifuku.
I think that's the guy's name, like the guy behind him. But
Yeah. Daifuku.
Fuck you.
But then they turn around. Big Mom's, jittering. It's like, what's wrong, Big Mom? Oh, it's nothing. It's just, that wedding cake. I wanted to eat it. It's gone.
Oh no.
It's not here anymore. I wanted to eat that cake. I'm going to kill everybody.
This is so cool. This in the context of having seen the flashback. Big Mom might literally eat everyone, including her children, her former husbands, the population, her entire crew. She could devour them all. She is a cannibal, a monster, a force of nature. This is the coolest thing ever. I can't wait to see what the fuck happens.
So I thought, like, when we saw her go insane about, like, not getting the croquembouche at the very beginning of the arc.
Yeah.
That this would probably happen with a wedding cake scenario. Like, the wedding cake would be ruined by Luffy.
She's been talking about wanting this wedding cake, so this is not...
This is very... Oh, yeah. The wedding cake. Like... Now what are they going to do? I think this is going to be the reason the Straw Hats and the Fire Tank get away, is because Big Mom pirates have to worry about Big Mom now.
That seems almost too boring to me. Like,
I don't know. Like, what the hell is going to happen other than they're going to be taken, like, shit's going to go down and they're going to have to build a wedding cake.
I think they're going back. I think they will turn around and, like, have another confrontation with Big Mom. This story is not over. I don't think Big Mom's arc has ended just yet. I mean, obviously
no.
I think they're going to go back, something's going to go down, and, like, they're going to stop Big Mom in some way. And
what I think is going to happen, like I've been saying, like, the whole Kaido thing is I feel like the way to make it bigger than any other conflict ever is to make it a three-way conflict with Big Mom, Kaido, and the Straw Hats. So they're going to run away, and she's going to follow them. And then when they get to when they get to Wano, or wherever they find Kaido, or whatever, Zoro and Law and the rest of them would have been doing their thing. I hope we get to see a bit of that by itself before... You know,
But dude, like, clearly, we're looking at something massive is about to happen here.
Yeah, like, Big Mom is going to be following them, and then Kaido's going to be there, and it's going to be...
No. That's too long-term. Something immediate is about... Like, Big Mom is having a spasm right now. In the context of what's been set up, right now, like, my expectations, based on the flashback, are that Big Mom might devour her entire crew. I'm telling you, dude, something's going to happen where Big Mom is doing a gigantic rampage, and maybe the Straw Hats don't turn around, but, like, this is a cataclysmic moment. She might devour her entire crew. Like, this can't just happen, and then we learn the resolution later. This is important. This is a big deal, what's happening right now. And
I mean, yeah, it's big news. It's going to get...
It's big news.
There's going to be pictures.
I think the Straw Hats' involvement is not yet over, but we'll see. I might be totally wrong, but that's my prediction. The Straw Hats will involve themselves somehow.
Well, they have absolutely no reason to go back. They have absolutely no reason to not leg it right now, because they have everything they need.
That's true, but I nonetheless think something will happen. Maybe Luffy will hear people screaming and asking for help, and he might be like, you know what? I'm literally a good guy. I need to do something about this. I gotta help.
Well, you know, I think maybe... well, there's a couple things that... Because the Germa, you know, the guys...
Oh, they kind of just, like, ditched the Germa. Like, they can fly, so they should be fine. Like, they were quite specific. Like, the Germa can fly. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. But,
so
like,
they're
off somewhere doing something.
There's also the thing about Pudding being still there.
Right. Pudding also has not been resolved. That's why I'm sort of thinking they're going back to do more. I think this is not yet concluded. We'll see. I don't know, man.
It seems so silly to go back, but maybe that's why they will.
It certainly would be silly, but, you know, sometimes you just got to be a silly boy. Sometimes you just got to be a silly boy and write a manga for 20 years. You just got to be that level of silliness, you know. And we shall see. We shall see. So I guess that's it. You got any other comments here? I just am dying for the next chapter. I need to know what happens.
I'm thinking, like, what could quell Big Mom right now? Taking away her memory of food.
Yeah, maybe something like that, you know.
What's a wedding cake? What are you talking about? What happened?
That would solve the problem, you know. That would solve it.
It would solve the problem, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, Pudding has not been in any panels recently.
Well, I think that's almost
I feel like
deliberate.
when that happens. Yeah. When I feel like when that happens, when a person who is around hasn't been in a panel, I feel like it's because they're about to come back into the story with something like, oh, it's you didn't expect this.
Like, dude, it's like the last panel we saw of Pudding was like her getting cucked by Nami. And, like, there's no way that, like, Sanji doesn't, like, say goodbye in some capacity. That's gonna happen. There's gonna be a goodbye scene between Pudding and Sanji. I'm telling you, dude, it's not done. We're not done with these dudes yet.
Well,
it's happening.
Right.
We'll see. I could be totally wrong.
I still think this is going to be followed by, if nothing else, a chase scene.
maybe a Benny Hill style chase scene where they spin around and do crazy stuff while Big Mom is like walking behind them like Pac-Man, like trying to eat them and stuff. Waka waka,
like
kill you.
I'm pretty sure like they're not gonna get to the ship and then just sail away immediately. There's gonna be like problems, but I don't think they're gonna have the whole Big Mom crew right at them because she's about to go haywire and they have to control her. That's the reason that they're gonna be able to get out without fighting everybody.
Quite likely. This may just be the reason why they get away at this point. Like, they might have been stopped. Because, like, they still have to get to the Sunny. I think they're going to get to the submarine, then go to the Sunny, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But, like, the Germa's basically unresolved as far as I'm concerned right now. Pudding is unresolved. Big Mom's fit is obviously a big deal. I think there's still some stuff we have to deal with before we conclude.
The whole Germa kingdom is just right around the corner.
Yeah, they're around. All right, we'll see, man.
I'm ready for more. God damn it!
I know. I'm always down. I'm always one more. Thank you, Oda. All right, well, let's hope for 20 more years. Let's hang in there, folks. Let's see if we can do it. And we'll see you next time. Is there one next week? I think so. Okay,
yes.
So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was a strange way to say goodbye.